Welcome to the worst talk show.
Episode 36.
We don't look a day over 35.
Isn't that crazy? 36 weeks, and we took like at least a week or two off over the holidays, right?
Yeah.
That's a long time.
I mean, even some of the shows that I was here for, I took off.
We said that you were in Tahiti on assignment. So, good evening. Welcome, one and all. We have a slightly different setup, although you at home can't really see that. Dave is building me a desk, and it's amazing.
It's substantial.
It's substantial. And so we're actually working behind it right now, but we're at an angle where you can still see our lovely backdrop or whatever. So we're just trying to get used to the new scenario. Sam Avola is here. First.
Ciao, Sammy. Ciao.
We have a lot of fun stuff tonight and a lot of personal stuff. And yes, as promised, I'm going to spill some tea.
Do we have any fun personal stuff?
Well, if not, does everybody know what that means? Everybody knows what that means by now, right?
What, personal stuff?
No, spill the tea.
No.
Okay, so spill the tea. Picture the Kermit meme when he goes, "That's none of my business." And yeah, it's gossip. Only the gossip is about me. So there you go.
Hi, Holly.
I hope Linda Bean pops on, although it's her birthday. She's probably busy, but happy birthday, Linda Bean. We got to hear a brand new single from her band. Linda Bean is in many bands.
2,700 bands.
Many bands. But the Chelsea Curve has a new single out, and I believe it's called Girl Cave Dog. I was rocking out to it earlier today. It's a great song. And we'll post the link on how you can listen or download on Bandcamp. Sean O'Brien is here.
Well, hello, Sean.
Now, Sean O'Brien is now working with chef.com, which I believe is SHEF.
Yes.
So, Sean, I definitely want to talk to you if you can stay on. If you can't, let me know and we'll cover it early. I was checking out some of the food that you're going to be cooking, and then people can purchase the meal for like $10. They can purchase the meal.
It seemed very reasonable.
Then it's delivered to them. Like,
I don't know. Is it just a picture of food though?
No,
it doesn't. It seems like it's too.
It's definitely the food.
It's not expensive enough.
All right, Linda is rocking out an eating aspic as we speak. All righty then. Melanie Cousin is here. I saw Melanie took your first steps post-surgery.
How's the knee going, kid?
Very proud of you, girl.
Yeah. Good to see you up and around.
We're very happy everybody's here. We do, I wouldn't say we necessarily have a packed show, but we do have some gossip to spill. So we could take some time on that and answer some questions. Just so everybody knows, we're not pregnant because we're old. So just stop with that.
Oh, Michael Maloney was nervous about that.
As you should be, because if I was pregnant and we were going to have a baby, we couldn't do the show anymore.
I'd be on suicide watch.
Yeah, we also probably wouldn't be sitting next to each other and conversing and having fun. Oh, what? You're what? Nope, too old. I hope. Actually, I'm not too old, but we're pretty solid.
Give yourself credit, honey.
We can't get pregnant. I mean, technically, I could, but I refuse.
Yes.
Aspic. I've never had aspic, but
nor do I wish to have it.
I remember that they served it at the Century House because my Nana Louise had it. And I'm like, isn't that just kind of like gelatin? It's a fancy schmancy thing, from what I understand. Not that the Century House on 114 in Danvers is fancy schmancy, but once upon a time, it was...
it's more schmancy than fancy.
It was considered somewhat highfalutin for the North Shore kids.
Meat Jello is what Sam Avola has said. Yes.
It's sort of the OG Jello, right? It's the original.
It's skin and nails and stuff like that.
Isn't it hoofs? Or isn't that gelatin?
Hooves count as nails.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah. Meat Jello. Is there a band called Meat Jello? Because if not, there should be. I know there's Jelly, the band Jelly.
Meat Jello. And they do all Dead Kennedy covers.
Jello Biafra, who I would bet, ironically, is a vegetarian or a vegan.
I think he is, actually.
Also, happy Trans Visibility Day. Holly posted today, and I immediately shared it with everybody. Loved it.
I haven't been on Facebook at all today. I was messing with the desk.
Yeah, this desk that he's building, I can't wait for you guys to see the pictures.
Like
it's
60,
truly a work of art.
I swear to God, there were like 69 notifications on Facebook alone.
Louis Warren is here. He says there's Green Jello. Oh, okay. So I think I kind of remember Green Jello as a band, maybe.
Although we don't want to.
Probably not. I really don't like Jello. Totally
I love this stuff.
So happy.
There's always room for Jello.
So happy Trans Visibility Day. I need to post. There's Maite, our friend Maite, posted a very informative picture that sort of breaks down what is transgender, what is cisgender, all these different labels that are flying at certain people that don't necessarily know. I was talking to our 16-year-old daughter, Kendall, and she is as woke as every 16-year-old, I think, in the area. But I did drop a little. I was like, well, it's the alphabet mafia because it's LGBTQ, and then there's like I and A or something. There's more letters. I know there's more letters, and we're trying to constantly educate ourselves. But I know that she was like, where did you hear that? And I was like, Demi Lovato. But we'll get to that later. Vicky Salapande is here, the Three Little Pigs song.
Right. That's the green Jello. Is it green jelly or green Jello?
I thought it was green jelly.
I think it's green jelly, guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough about that. That's show number 42.
All right. We have not had a chance to watch King Kong versus Godzilla or Godzilla versus King Kong.
Didn't it just come out today?
It came out today, but we've been busy. So we don't have that for you. But what did come out last weekend, Saturday night on HBO Max, the new Tina Turner documentary.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, I forgot you didn't watch it with me.
Oh, yes, you forgot.
Who watched Tina? Yes, green jelly with the umlauts. That's right, Jim Pericotti. You are on top of things. Jello first, then jelly after cease and desist. There you go, Louis.
Because Jello is it's a brand name.
Angel Wood is here. Now, we do need to discuss the gift that Angel received in the mail.
Yeah.
Now, Dave often goes on these little mini shopping sprees. And when I say shopping spree, it's not about the money. It's just about the time and the energy and hopping from this discount store to that discount store and what have you. So it's
deals,
retail therapy for Dave for sure, and he loves it. And so the last time he went through one of these, which was probably about 6 months ago, he picked up a lovely white ceramic bulldog and said, "Look, let's give it to Angel." And he came home. I was not with him on the
that thing was awesome.
I was like, wow, that's awesome, cool. So then the other day he comes home with a T-shirt with a bulldog on it.
I looked at the T-shirt and I let out a laugh, and it made my heart grow 3 sizes.
And I go, honey, I love you, but that's enough gifts for Angel.
Yeah, I don't want there to,
That's now 2. And he goes,
I don't want there to be I made sure to say, to give my love to Paul Gallo, so that nobody thought I was doing anything, strange or out of.
Do you have a crush on Angel? And it's like, listen, if something were to happen to me and Paul Gallo for whatever reason, and the two of you ended up together, I mean, you would barely have to change the name. You could just say Ange, and she wouldn't know you were talking about your
swimming in bulldog merchandise.
But I'm so happy she got it and she loves it.
Yeah.
So, not that he didn't bring me home gifts. He always brings home little prizes for everybody. So unfortunately mine had to go back to the store because they were the wrong size.
Adidas.
But they were gorgeous. Yeah. My foot is shrinking a little bit. So what I thought was going to fit me. Gorgeous Adidas high tops. I'm so I don't know why it's my new thing right now, but I love certain colors of the Adidas high tops. And when Dave sees one, he brings it home because he's a good boyfriend.
Yeah. I mean, if I have to tranquilize some woman on the street, I mean, I'll leave her shoeless.
Nice.
I won't injure her. you know,
So HBO Max, Paul just came
release her
in
back
that,
into the wild.
Tina Turner. Now, we remember the movie. We remember the book with that Kurt Loder wrote for her.
I didn't watch the movie either.
The movie with Angela Bassett, you did the gun show. It was a good movie.
I might have seen it. I don't know.
Larry Fishburne as Ike Turner. We know most of the story, so it wasn't a lot of hugely new information. Although I think for a lot of us, we confused her manager and her boyfriend as the same person, not the same person. From
Deutschland?
Yeah, fully happily in love, and it took her a long time to get there. It's a beautiful love letter, and it's really her way of saying goodbye. Like, I'm 80 something, I know I still look fabulous, and I could probably just get out there and kick your ass again, but I'm done. No more performing. Here it is, and we're done. Like, she just didn't want to talk about where she came from and the abuse and the Ike years.
Rolling in a wheelchair. Sorry.
And there's a Broadway show that opened not soon,
Listen,
like right before the pandemic, I think. So
Tina's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's lovely. I urge you all to see it. And one of the things that I took away was she didn't come out with What's Love Got to Do with It until she's in her 40s, guys. And she looks slamming, and she has this whole career where they call it a comeback, and she goes, no, this is the first one. I was never big. I was always part of. It was always Ike and Tina, and so I really like that a lot. Which also, Lewis Warren says, I couldn't believe that movie was made in '93. I know, right? It seems like just yesterday, the Angela Bassett movie. And the that one scene they showed over and over again when they're in the courtroom and she's not getting anything, Ike's getting everything. And Angela Bassett as Tina goes, I just want one thing. I want my name. Because that was not her name. She didn't get to choose it. But that was the one thing she knew that Ike owned that she wanted because, you know, and then she went and worked in, Vegas, doing like review shows, but she really wanted to be a rock star and she wanted to sell out stadiums and like the Stones, and she did. So it's a wonderful little farewell, and I think everybody should watch it. Lewis Warren, I've been looking my whole life long for green and yellow Adidas. Really? Like a Celtics thing, or just, I mean, that's green and white.
What model though?
Curiouser. And so from one awesome singer to another, we can go to Aretha. We've watched a few more episodes. We haven't gotten through them all yet because honestly, it's very heavy.
Okay, so National Geographic produces a series,
which we talked about last week, called Genius.
And Aretha Franklin is one of the subjects, and
this whole season is
it's
Aretha.
Impressive.
Yeah,
she's an impressive. Like, listen, I just have the whole. Yeah, she's great.
Name.
But I just always thought of Aretha as just a diva amongst divas, kind of a thing. I
did not know a lot of that backstory.
She was not a young person when we were listening to her.
And Nikki
when George Michael and her had the big hit.
I knew you were waiting. And it's funny, Angel brings up the Ronnie Spector story was very similar, where there was so much abuse and whatever that there's so much more going on there. But even the Genius show and National Geographic is as horrifying as some of the details of her early life are. They are sugar-coated way more than the reality, because I did some investigating about the reality. So on the show, it has Aretha
12 years old
getting pregnant and having a baby at 12. And they sort of allude to the fact that it was very shady. She was 12 years old. She was on tour. She was doing the gospel circuit with her father.
And that's where she got knocked out.
Yeah, who's a very well respected reverend.
But he's a womanizer.
It was a womanizer to the point where Ray Charles once called his whole church scene, Reverend Franklin's church scene, a sex circus. Yeah. Well,
Ray would know.
Well, Ray probably would know. And the other part of that is that she had a baby when she was 12. She had another baby when she was 14 that they do not talk about in this particular series. So a lot going on there. She definitely was not well taken care of when she was younger. And then when she did have the first two babies, she was still a child herself, and they knew she had all this talent, so they still put her out on the road. And those children were basically raised by grandma
Big Mama
and sisters. So
it's pretty, it's gritty.
Nikki
like,
T,
definitely.
glad you're here. We were just talking about Aretha and
Bob Tarassi's watching.
So she has two children very young. Then she ends up marrying a pimp, like for real.
Yeah.
Who had originally been Dinah Washington's pseudo manager or whatever.
We're not gonna get too far into it though, right?
I'm sorry. There's a lot going on there, a lot
Guys,
to unpack.
it's
And we're
really
only like 5 episodes in. But
it's got a great cast, you know.
We urge you to check it out, and it's on. We watch it on Hulu, but I think it's the National Geographic channel. I could be wrong about that. Did you
Susan Dobbs is on, by the way.
Oh, hey, Susan.
Hi,
oh
Susan.
My God, Susan knitted me. Is that the correct?
Did she crochet
verbiage?
you something?
Crocheted me the most gorgeous bag. I wish I could run and show you right now, but I'll take a picture and send it later. Nikki T, did you talk about the
flirting, Aretha and Dr. King?
Yeah, and by the way, when that was going on, Aretha was 16 years old. Cynthia Erivo does not look 16 years old in those scenes. And rumor has it that they did more than flirt. And Aretha, sorry, I don't want to speak ill of the dead. And obviously she came from a certain background, but she banged everybody. If you actually go and look, there was a lot of that going on.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Next.
What else do we have? Well, we watched the two-parter season 2 finale of Snowpiercer.
Yes, excellent. Yes, excellent.
Man, we thought we hated Sean Bean last week. Oh, I want to stab him in the eyeballs.
Yeah, he's
Oh, he plays such a bad baddie.
Mr. Wilford is not a cool dude.
If you haven't had a chance to check up or check in with Snowpiercer, do yourself a favor. It's really great. And it's so interesting. There are so many parts of it in the premise that could totally really happen. It's freaky.
Like the world could freeze and all humankind would be on a train that goes around the world and can't stop, or else everyone will freeze to death.
Yeah, I mean, perfectly plausible.
I mean, that could be next week. It could happen,
right? Have you guys been watching Falcon and Winter Soldier episodically? Normally, I'd be mad. Not mad.
Guys,
season 2.
The writers on that show are great.
I can't find fault with this at all.
No,
we're only 2 episodes in, but I find no fault.
It's the movie cast. And so it's a series with the movie cast. They spent money on it. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The production value is super high. The writing is like funny, and there's like a little bit of inside baseball, but it's good. It's really pretty well done.
Yeah. I'm very impressed. Like really, really, really impressed.
I like it more than WandaVision.
Yeah, it's a better experience.
By like a good amount.
Again, WandaVision was a total thinker, wrap your head around it, weird thing.
I don't like to think.
Well, when you're watching the Marvel movies, how heady do you really want to get? You know,
I want to nerd out a little bit. I mean, come on now.
It's a good balance. I think WandaVision was the scales were a little tipped in the other direction.
Yeah.
Nikki T, I'm late, was watching the movie Philomena with Judi Dench and Steve Coogan, more Catholic antics. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yes, that is not a happy, fun movie at all, but a very powerful movie. And who doesn't love Steve Coogan? I mean, seriously.
He's so hateable. Like,
I adore him.
Yeah.
You know what it is, though? It's 24-hour party people.
Right. That's what did it for you.
That's the movie for me.
The one where he goes on the trip with the other Rob.
Oh, yeah. When they both
just
Michael Caine
head-to-head,
over and over and over.
Head-to-head.
Yeah, there's a huge series of those. We've
they
only watched
go all
a
over
couple
the place.
of them, but yeah.
Their impressions are amazing.
Yeah.
I love that
every once in a while I catch the other guy in
something. Yeah.
and I can never remember his name for the life of me.
It's Rob something or other.
So Dave and I watched some things separately. Tina, obviously, which I totally forgot you weren't sitting next to me while I was watching it. Sorry.
Well, there was a pile of pillows there, so it was like I was there.
Nikki T says, I will marry him and you can be our flower girl. Sold. I'm all over that. I watched, I had read about a Demi Lovato sort of tell-all documentary. She was spilling the tea about her overdose and what happened and how she really almost died. Like she pretty much died and somehow they were able to save her. And that it was a no holds barred thing. So they're talking to her and her friends and her parents, and at every point they're like, oh, are we talking about the heroin? Yeah, we're talking about the heroin. And all I can think of is this is sweet little Demi Lovato. Kendall grew up watching her on Sunny with a Chance. Yeah, and I'm just like, oh my God. It's free on YouTube. It's a 2-parter. It's not that long. Do yourself a favor. It's very good. And it turns out that Demi is pansexual. She has finally sort of let everybody see the real her, or she's allowed herself to be her true self. So and she's the one who said she's part of the alphabet mafia now, and I dropped that science to Kendall and she was like, where did you hear that? Okay. You know, because Kendall's like, I'm more woke than anybody else in the house, and it's true. Yeah. She is, but we don't like to let her think that all the time. So
what did I watch separate from you? CL Strike, guys,
which we told you about a couple different times.
It's a production of HBO Cinemax. And guys, it's really well done. Holiday Granger and Tom Burke star in this.
And Tom Burke
was in
he
played Orson Welles in
Mank.
Yep.
He was also in the British version.
He was the doctor.
Suburbia.
The British version of Utopia.
I just said Suburbia.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Cool.
Sorry.
It's in development right now.
Oh, is it? What else did you watch?
I watched Blade Runner 2049 again and again. I think I watched it twice.
I was gonna say, how many times have you watched that?
Just a handful of times. I'm a big, huge Blade Runner fan.
I know you are.
From the OG Blade Runner. And the first, the second one, I was like, all right, yeah, it's okay. It's kind of a lot. There were certain things, they put out little mini movies before they released that at the theaters.
Right.
And they did a little bit of the backstory of how things were now, at this time in 2049. And Jared Leto is in it as, this
a weird, creepy dude.
Oh man, he's creepy. But he's like everything. A super genius, and he like saved humanity with his, synthetic agriculture type thing that he invented. But the premise of it is pretty cool.
Sam Avola said funny, he just rewatched it again as well. You kind of forget sometimes when you go and see a movie in the theater that you really do need to spend some more time with certain movies. Even silly, oddly enough, we have Peacock right now, the app, because some of the Premier League football games are only available on there, but they have the entire Harry Potter franchise. They have every single movie. And I realized I really wanted to go back and watch the last 2 movies again, because you wait so long for them to come out and you watch it and you inhale it, but you don't necessarily savor it and you miss little details.
Yeah. There's so much going on in some of them that you don't see everything.
So it was nice. I did that as well. Just sort of like, oh yeah, that's right. Oh, that fills in that gap for me and whatever. I mean, I don't want to give J.K. Rowling any extra money right now, obviously. But that was kind of it as far as stuff we watched. Can you think of anything else? What are you guys watching? Talk to us. We did not get a chance to check out Los Spookies, which was Lewis Warren's.
You were watching what is it? It's a supernatural Victorian era supernatural show.
Oh God, what is that called? It's on Netflix. It just came out.
The
Irregulars.
The Irregulars. Okay.
Yeah, the unintelligible.
Yes,
the Irregulars.
Unrememberable.
It's very much like a weekly. There's like a weekly story to solve. It's very Buffy the Vampire Slayer-esque, but it's in Victorian England. and all the characters are not
There's some steampunk involved, like it's that kind of like,
it's interesting. I'm only on episode 2. I haven't
my
figured it out
jam.
either way, but Rob McKinnon, COYS, what is that? What does that mean? Can you spell it out for us, Rob? Hashtag COYS. I don't know.
Yourself? No. Jesus, this is going to be embarrassing, right? My brain hasn't been working. I haven't been sleeping very well. And so I'm like, I couldn't remember Jennifer Aniston's name yesterday, guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
what can I say?
He really
I was like, wow, that Jennifer, she's all right.
Lewis said he started
What is her last name?
Lewis said he started watching The Irregulars as well, but he kept turning it off. I don't think it's for me. Sometimes I like to watch these silly shows just to get out of my own head, but I agree. I'm not completely sold yet on just to come on your Spurs.
Come on. Yeah.
Sorry.
Come on, you Spurs. Listen, you know what? For London teams, I mean, if I had to pick a London team, it'd probably be Spurs. But I'm a Liverpool guy,
why you never walk alone. That I would have recognized, but not COIS. Sorry about that, Rob.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're a Liverpool family.
No, they got some. I mean, they definitely got some talent.
I almost wore my Liverpool shirt
really
tonight. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Almost.
David Rose had it made.
I almost graduated from college.
It has my name on the
back. For like 3 years worth of not going. Yeah.
What else are you guys watching? Anything? We can certainly move on to the musical section because he's starting to scare me now. I told you last week I heard somebody jamming to Rammstein and I thought it came from the kids' forum.
And it continues.
He has gone all the way to Rammstein.
I am going to learn how to speak German by listening to Rammstein.
He played a song for me the other day. He's like, tell me they didn't listen to Kashmir when they wrote this.
Yes.
And I was like,
oh my God.
Okay.
There's a song. Oh my, I'm trying to remember.
Diableros? Oh, that's what you're watching. Bosch, it's on a list and I still haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I mean, what's his name?
Why I should watch Bosch.
What's his name?
Lewis Warren says Rammstein's latest video is rad. Sean O'Brien says Diableros is a crazy Mexican supernatural show.
There's a new Guy Ritchie movie coming out, by the way. Don't let me forget about that.
Yeah. And Jason Statham and Guy Ritchie back together again. I'm excited for that as well. Can I tell my Guy Ritchie story?
I don't know.
Okay, so Guy Ritchie comes out with was it Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels? Was that the first one?
I believe so.
Okay, so he's an upcoming film director. Nobody knows who he is. We have him on the morning show on FNX. I go and see the movie, and he comes up with at least 2 other actors from the film. One guy whose name escapes me at the moment. He's kind of tall, ginger, creepy looking dude. And then Jason Statham before he was Jason Statham.
So was it the guy who played he played Jekyll and Hyde?
Yes.
In the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
Yes. That's
that
exactly
guy.
Who that is. So
you said ginger, and I'm like.
And somewhere in my archives, there's a picture of all of us, like in a picture together, and I really need to find it. So this is years and years ago. So Guy and Madonna at this point are secretly dating, but nobody knows. Now it's in the early days of computers as far as the internet goes as well. And they're kind of hanging out. And Guy asked me if he can log on to my computer to do a little surfing. And I was like, sure. What is he surfing, you guys? He's looking up to see if anybody has said anything about him and Madonna. He's searching like Madonna stuff. And there was this whole thing about how was Guy Ritchie, in a relationship with Madonna to get famous? We don't know. Was it going to help his career? Possibly. But I always swore if I ever actually met Madge in person, I would be like, by the way, before you guys went public, he was looking online to see what's what. So here you go. That's my story.
By the way, that guy's name is Jason Fleming, I believe.
Oh, okay.
That's him right there.
Yeah, why don't you blow it up and show them? Can you do that?
Technology scares
There
me.
you go. And just hold it up to the camera. Can you guys see that? That's the other guy that was at FNX. They were all super great guys, but I just remember thinking how odd that he's looking this up and interesting. I think there were rumors about them, but they had not confirmed anything yet. I think that's what had happened, but I have a million little stupid stories like that I forget until we actually talk about the person. And I'm like, oh, hey. We will definitely check that out. The Crazy Mexican Supernatural Show. I'm all about that. That sounds good. I will try with Bosch. I really will. It's just, I really like
Titus
that guy.
Welliver is the guy's name.
Really like him. And he's from here, isn't he originally? Like, I know there was a whole thing where he sort of pushed his way onto the set of The Town because, you know, if anybody was going to have the real Boston accent, he wanted to represent. Sam Mavola, creepy ginger, accurate. Yep.
Yeah, Nikki T. Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I kind of think that's what it was. Susan Dobsha, I love you.
Watching us on the TV.
Literally texting us on all our devices right now. So stop until the show is over.
Cut it out.
Por favor. So definitely go check out the new single from Chelsea Curve. And of course, it's Linda Bean's birthday.
Happy birthday, Linder.
Happy birthday, Linder.
Hey, when's the next time we're hanging out with Mikey Joshua?
He's doing X Night this Saturday.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So this Saturday night, we will be
We'll
logged
probably see
on
you, Linder.
and dancing up a storm. Well, I won't be dancing, but that's part of the tea we'll be spilling momentarily.
Why?
Sean O'Brien, I need to talk to you about chef.com. So it's chef as in SHEF. Now we know that Sean is a personal chef, as well as many other wonderful things. And we constantly talk about food. Oh, Linda Bean's there. Oh, yeah. Gerbian, we love you. Oh, Mikey G, speak of the devil. Hello.
Hola, senor.
Now, Mikey, you told me that you directed a Chelsea Curve video. Is this for the single or is that for something else? I didn't want to like get ahead of ourselves if that's not for the right thing. So let me know about that because I'm just curious. But right now, I think we should talk to Sean. Sean, how did this happen? Like, how did you hook up? And is this a newer, it's not an app necessarily. It's you know, a website. I don't know that there's an app or not, but basically it's all about buying food and having it delivered to you from local chefs, especially local
prepared
chefs,
meals though, not just
that make there was a lot of different ethnicity cooking there, which was great.
Ethnic cooking.
Yeah. And I was just overwhelmed and the prices looked really reasonable.
Yeah, like I said, there's like cardboard, there's like a picture of like a souffle or something, you know, like
no, it's real food. And Sean, one of the meals that he's making is a very like a traditional Canadian, I think maybe a Quebec meal, which looked amazing. All the food looks really good, but there are, you just type in your zip code, and if you live in an area where they do delivery, you can pick your chef. So the chef, like Sean, there's a picture of Sean, and there's a little bio of Sean, and then all the different things that he makes that you can order and have delivered to you.
Okay, so this started in San Francisco, Sean is saying.
Of course
it is a website, and it's popped up all over the country in different cities.
It's not poutine, Rob. Sean, tell me what the Canadian-inspired dish is. I'm very excited for you guys to all try this. As of when I checked,
roast tabarnak, huh?
They do not deliver to our neck of the woods right now, but that doesn't mean that they won't in the future. And it looks like I did try to check, I think Cambridge and maybe Somerville, but I'm not sure. Sean, do you know the areas where people, if they live, can actually order? It's me and a bunch of Indian and Thai moms at the moment. Yeah, yeah, it really is. And there was one, I found a couple others that were doing more like American-based stuff, but you felt like, you know, these are people that aren't necessarily, you know, they're chefs, but there was just something about, I love the concept of it. I love being able to just sort of avoid a big stuffy restaurant and being able to get home cooked meal.
So is it tortilla québécois? meat pie.
Yes, there you go.
That's right. See how I did that?
Oh, did you really pronounce that
Yeah.
correctly?
Yeah.
Good for you. I totally would have butchered that.
I think I did.
Get it? Meat pie, butchered. I would have said like tortilla.
Tortilla
Québécois.
Québécois.
Yeah, mostly home cooks. And I kind of think that's great. You know, I love it. You know, we can't necessarily go to dinner at other people's houses right now. But we all know somebody who cooks really well, Sam Avola, that cooks from home, or Sean O'Brien. And it's lovely that you can order it and have it delivered to your house. It's crazy awesome.
Yeah, and you've got like a list of stuff that, Sean crushes probably, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, yeah, this is all in my wheelhouse. If I know how to do anything, I know how to do this.
Right.
And then so you're going to get something good.
So like if I was going to be on a site like that, I wouldn't, because I don't cook enough really good things. But do I have one dish that you would say, yeah, I would pay for that?
Yeah. Remember that thing we had that you made and it was delicious?
I do a good roast chicken.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yes. No, I mean, I'm deer in the headlights.
All right. So the bacon and Brussels is
yeah.
a
I mean, your roasted broccoli is outstanding.
But as far as like a whole dish, my meatballs. My meatballs are great.
She loves her meatballs.
My meatballs are great.
I mean, I have my feelings about meatballs, and
And mine are the best. Linda says, I'm looking at Sean's menu and drooling over it. Yeah, guys, check it out. Chef.com. It's with an S. So SHEF.com.
And he says they're delivering within a 10-mile radius right now of Brighton.
Yeah. So it's a little limited, but hey, it doesn't mean you couldn't like maybe find a member of your pod that lives there. Yeah. And
well,
you guys
remember,
can order together.
This is,
But $10 per person, meal wise, are you kidding me? Like they're $10.
Yeah.
And then certain people make sides. You can choose different sides.
Rob McKinnon says Angie's balls are the best.
Well, obviously, because I mean,
they're very dense.
They're
very dense.
Anyway, Sean, I'm really excited about this, and I hope that they expand the delivery radius.
Well, as drones become more advanced, they'll be able to have the technology to expand the radius.
Come on, just drop it.
Yeah, just drop it. Chicken a la king from the sky.
And now I'm wearing it. So Sean, let us know how it's going when we check in next. I'm really excited about it. And if you guys are within a 10-mile radius of Brighton, go on chef.com, look up Sean O. He's and just order.
Here's a question for you, Sean. Can people who live out of the area buy gift certificates for people who live in the area?
Oh, I bet they can. Sean says, I'm literally packing up meals for tomorrow right now. I love that. Yay.
Attaboy.
I'm putting this firmly in the win column, Sean, and I'm very, very excited for you. So, should we get to me spilling the tea at this point? Is there anything else we want to talk about, really?
I mean, we rekindled
we're talking about food.
We rekindled our love with the Great British Baking Show.
We did. We were watching the latest episode last night.
And there's a person in the cast that Angie's like, I really love this girl. And I looked at her. And
what was her name? Bryony?
Bryony. And I'm like, yeah, because, you guys could be related.
Yeah, I guess she kind of looked like me. I thought she looked like Bjork, really. I mean, she has the cute little blunt bangs.
I think she's a cross between.
I didn't realize
the OG Veruca Salt. A
little like the chick from Torchwood. There's a little of that going on.
Maybe a little bit, and then
but
definitely
she
some
looks
Creed.
like a cross between a Creedon and a Hanley. I never ever noticed it before ever, but Kay Hanley's family and my family do have similar attributes, I will say. And people have seen young photos of Kay and asked if that's me, which is really bizarre and weird, or that we're sisters. We do get that a lot too, and I think people are just pulling our leg, but I guess we do. Families do.
Back to the important stuff. Rob McKinnon and I are talking about English women.
Okay.
Boy, vague. Now, Paul is pretty cool. You like Paul.
Paul Hollywood.
He's dreamy,
Let
right?
me tell you something. He shows up,
but here's the
going,
thing.
boom, over
here's
there.
the thing. You know what? What's the old broad's name?
I don't remember.
I'd get with
lovely.
her, man.
I love her.
She can do a hell of a what's the sponge? Man.
A Genoese sponge.
Oh, the Genoese. Oh. I'd eat her cherry pie.
Wow. Really? Paul Hollywood is a dreamboat. And Nikki T backed me up on this.
He's giving out handshakes like
so
they go,
hot.
you know, like it's going out of style. It doesn't even mean anything anymore.
He's like the white wolf. He's got these crazy blue eyes, full head of hair, all white at this point, and the beard, but the accent and the cocksureness, like my thighs are in flames on every episode.
All right. So anyway, don't you have
Mary? Her name is Mary. Thank you, Rob.
Mary is the old lady?
That's what he said, and I'm
that's the
saying
other
yes.
old lady. This is a new lady.
I don't think so.
With the colored glasses.
Dave
is blushing.
It's possible. Svelte. Who's svelte? Nobody in this house. Okay.
Not for quite some time.
So I did promise Mary Berry. I think that's her.
Okay.
We'll go back and watch more episodes. And so here's the thing. I haven't been able to watch the British Baking Show because I've been, trying to lose all that pandemic weight and then some. And I can suddenly watch it again, and I'll tell you why. So as some of you may know, but most of you don't, and I decided to sort of come clean and be public about it here so that I don't have to individually tell you all what's going on. So in the middle of the pandemic, after I was double fisting banana breads on a daily basis that I baked myself, I had gained almost all the weight back. I had lost 70 pounds on an Awaken 180 diet. That it was an endorsement deal through Mix and ZLX. So I was getting paid to lose weight. It was pretty easy. It was not necessarily the healthiest thing for me personally, but it wasn't sustainable. I couldn't keep it off. I could keep about 30 pounds of it off. And for somebody as big as me, that wasn't really, helpful. And so when we got to end of July, beginning of August, I realized that I gained almost all the weight back. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. And what I mean is, I don't want to go through another big weight loss and not be able to keep it off long-term, because I've now done this 3 times in my life. The first time I lost a huge amount of weight was when I was gave birth to Kendall, when I was pregnant and gave birth to Kendall, because my body was like, we need room for the baby, so everything else must go. But when I had her and wanted to stick with it, I couldn't do it. Emotionally, it was too much for me. And then, with the Awaken 180, it creeps back on, and then you're hit with hormones in a pandemic. Bye-bye. So I was done. I didn't want to do it anymore. I needed to get some help. So I I had really good health insurance. I have really good health insurance.
Nobody likes to show off.
I work for Leahy Behavioral Health. And so I decided I was going to go to my brand new PCP and ask her if I could check out the Leahy surgical weight loss program. Now, I have always been dead set against any of these bariatric surgeries since they started. I felt like I'm responsible for the food that goes in. It should be on me to lose it. But having lost it so many times in the past and had it come back, I realized that maybe I need to relook at this and educate myself. So I started the program in September, and there's a lot of classes to take. There's a lot of soul searching to take. There's a lot of work that I did mentally. I'm still working mentally. It is not easy. I can lose weight. I can't keep it off long term. And the idea of rewarding with food is something that's been inside me and many of you since day one. Now, that's perfectly fine when you only have 10, 20, 30 pounds to lose. That wasn't me. And so as I found out more about the program and started changing my relationship with food and changing what I ate, which is just super, protein is the holy grail of everything. You need the protein. It helps you heal. It keeps you, burning at burning fuel at the right level. And so you eat your protein first, and then you go to your good carbs, which are your veggies or your fruit. And then if you have any leftover as far as hunger, you would eat a starch. So that's sort of been my plan this whole time. And I started losing a good amount of weight. As of today, I'm down 71 pounds. That's completely on my own.
Yep. Before even going into the surgery.
It is the most I have ever lost in my life. I'm 5'10". And when I went to see the doctor last year in the middle of the pandemic, I was 345 pounds. I have never publicly said that number before.
Wow.
But I'm now at 274. And that I did all on my own. So I'm tooting my own horn a little, but really what I'm telling you is that I'm getting, I decided on the VSG, which is the vertical sleeve gastrectomy. It, in my opinion, is the least risky invasive. Any surgery is risky, of course. But they, you know, the Leahy program has been in business for over 20 years. They've never lost a patient. This is something where they don't have to cut me open and reroute things. It's laparoscopic surgery. So there's just a bunch of like instruments that they're using and a camera, and they just cut 2/3 of my stomach, sew it up, pull it out through one of the holes, and Bob's your uncle. And so this is just going to be a tool to help me on my journey. But I wanted to tell you guys, because you are the people that I've spent the most time with outside of this household, you know, during this last year of COVID. And so I didn't want you to think that I was deceiving you in any way either, because I do live my life very publicly in a lot of ways. And I felt like if somebody was maybe wondering like, how did you lose all this weight? What's going on? And then I go and get surgery tomorrow and I start dropping another 70 pounds. I wanted to be, you know, transparent about that.
Well, you wanted credit for the first 70.
Well, yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah.
I would want it.
And it really is just a tool, you know. Mikey G, toot that horn. Wow, these are all, thank you. You guys are all being very, very supportive. Many of you have known me for a long time, and you know that I've been able to drop weight before, and I just can't keep it off. And if I was still had any inkling that maybe I wasn't making the right decision, when my mom passed away February 1st, I gained and lost the same 3 pounds for over a month, because comfort food is a thing. And when there's a death in the family, all bets are off. And while I was still maintaining the way I worked out and the majority of the things I was eating, the diabolical baker in there was baking cookies and other things. It wasn't just her
perfecting her
but it's so easy
baking
to backslide. And I went, wow. In that moment I was like, this is way too easy. I could totally backslide. And this is why I'm so happy I made the decision to have this other tool to help me long term, because I want to travel. I want to be comfortable on a plane. I want to be able to go and be physical and do things like, I don't know, hike and not like keel over and pass out. So yeah, so I wanted to share it with you guys, because you guys are like our extended family at this point. And maybe you could just let all of our other friends know, so that I don't have to keep going through the story, or just tell them to watch the show. That's totally fine.
And if it works out for you, if everything goes well and it's a success, then I'll consider doing it myself.
All right. Look at you. It's not easy when you're a couple and you're both overweight and you love to eat and you love to cook, and food becomes such a big part of your relationship. And that is now changing for us in many ways. I still love to cook. I can't wait to make all these new like low carb, high protein recipes and the chaffles and all these different ways to do stuff. But it is going to be a major adjustment in this house. And I know that it's not been easy on Dave.
I've had a bad experience with this.
Yeah, and that was the other thing. We had both experienced
with an ex who had like a very adverse reaction to it, in that, you know, couldn't eat anymore, but took up, you know, other things.
Not being self-conscious on a plane was the best. Yes, Sean, right? I can't wait for that. Nikki T, yeah, kid, you will get so skinny when I see you and hug you. I'm going to snap your rib bones. Bring it on. Bring it on.
But not lentils.
I don't like the lentils. but one of the things we have both had experiences, him with his ex and myself with some people that were very close to me, they had the lap band surgery. Now, I know you guys have heard about that because it was such a big deal at one point. They don't even do those surgeries anymore. They were like not successful, and people were using their esophagus as stomachs, and they were still eating whatever they wanted. They were just eating it over longer periods of time, and it didn't help. So I just want to make sure everybody knows this sleeve gastrectomy that I'm getting is not a band situation. That was very negatively impacted people that got that. A lot of them ended up becoming alcoholics, or just swapping one addiction for another, not doing any of the mental work. Alcohol. And in Dave's family, before I met him, it destroyed a lot. It was a very destructive thing. So when I was even thinking about this, I sat down with Dave and we talked extensively about this, because I certainly didn't want to trigger him. And I realized, like, now we're in a counseling session, so am I giving too much away? I'm very sorry. Sean, oh no, I'm sorry. Sam, such an amazing step to take. So very proud of you. Thank you, Sam. And Sam has been incredibly supportive as well. A lot of you who already knew have been super supportive, and I appreciate all of it. Sean says when he got on that plane, he literally cried. I got to tell you guys, you know, when you're big and overweight, and every plane you get on, you have to talk to the flight attendants before you even get all the way into the plane and go, hey, I'm in seat such and such. Can you bring me a seat belt extension? Now, certain companies like Virgin America, I didn't need one, but everybody else, I needed one. And there's just no better feeling than having to get a seat belt extension on a plane, and then be concerned that the people next to you, like, that somehow you're going to spill over into their seat and they're going to hate you for life.
Secretly.
And for years, I would only travel with my little daughter because I knew we had two seats next to each other, and I could avoid most of that. But it's a crappy thing to have happen. So I appreciate Sean opening up to us about that too. Vicky says lots of respect to you. Thank you, Vicky. I appreciate that. Sean says they used to just do the surgery and throw you to the wolves. The Leahy team are the best. Not only that, but my surgeon, Dr. Brahms, is the head of the program. He just called me a little while ago. I totally love this dude. And everybody's a little shocked that I've lost this much weight, because we were set back. I was originally supposed to get the surgery on Christmas Eve. Because I wanted to avoid Christmas and the food, frankly. And a lot of people backslid because of that, and because of the pandemic. And I just kept pushing through. So that's why I'm really tooting my own horn on that. And Dr. Brown was like, what? You lost how much? Because he kept throwing numbers at me like, this is great and this is fine, but if you could get to this, there'd be more room for me to operate correctly. And I was like, done. And I did it. I hit every benchmark he set for me. So I'm really proud of that. Sean says, I stole a seatbelt extender once. I didn't have to ask. So I didn't have to ask. You know, I never really considered that. I did think at one point, should I just buy one and bring it with me? But it's just so ridiculous. I mean, I understand they want more seats to put in the plane, but like, I'd be happy to pay a bigger ticket for the plus size plane, honestly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a horrible thing. And our culture is just not set up to be nice to the plus size folk. And I will say, I want to be able to go to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter and be able to ride the rides. And I can't do that.
And look down on the heavy people, I know.
No, I will never look down on heavy people. That struggle is real, and it's never ending. But I want to be able to be on the rides. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know that I'd be okay at Galaxy's Edge driving the Millennium Falcon because it's just a seat. But anything else, like, you get in there and you're screwed. There, especially Harry Potter, there are websites devoted to the fact that there are certain places you can go and you'll fit. And that one across the board, nobody can fit in those seats. It's terrible. Yeah. They're very biased.
I'm boycotting.
Mm-hmm. I could boycott, or I could lose the weight, get healthy, and as an extra added bonus, be able to ride the ride into Gringotts. So that's what I want to do. Sam Ebola, concentrate on the positive. My wife, Lisa, is a 7+ year success story with weight loss surgery. I love that. And I love Lisa. And I can't wait for all of us to get together and talk more about that, and hopefully over a meal. So I'm getting the surgery tomorrow, and hopefully everything goes well. If it doesn't, I love you all. Thank you for making my life better. But we know it's going to be fine. I'm sorry, honey. We know it's going to be fine. But then it's clear liquids and then full liquids for like a month. So while I've already been doing liquids the last 2 weeks, they put you on a liver shrinking diet so that you're in the best health you can possibly be, because they do have to peel your liver off of your stomach to do
out of the way, get it out of the way.
Put it back
and
on.
they just stick a stick under it. They like prop it up.
I have been drinking protein shakes and eating protein pudding for 2 solid weeks. And at this point, I'm ready for any change, even if it's just broth or a strained cream soup. I'm all about that. So I can't wait until we can get to a place where we can actually start thinking about things like chaffles and cool, like low carb.
They don't even know what chaffles are.
Share with you. Oh, we talked about chaffles a couple of weeks ago. They totally know.
Do you know?
Susan Dobsha, they should sell them. Oh, they do. The seatbelt extenders, they do. I just never got one. Rob McKinnon, it's crazy that a lot of Americans are overweight and yet are still shamed. I know.
Yeah, there's a majority of Americans.
Well, the average weight of a woman is like a 14, 16. Yet the fashion industry, and I understand with movies on film, the camera adds 10 pounds. Big effing deal. Let them. Why do we need to look at bone thin? Like, I love Kate Beckinsale, but give me a break. Like, she's so little and tiny. You want to throw a sandwich at her. And I know that's the opposite of fat shaming, and that's just
I usually
bad,
have to pay extra to do
apologize.
that.
But you're right, Rob, and it does stink. And I love people like Tess Holliday who talk about F your beauty standards. And I was very much I'm still a huge supporter of those things. But for me personally, I knew that it was a health
it's
situation.
a health thing. That's the
I'm
thing.
Also over 50 now, officially. I'm 51 years old.
That's the thing.
I'm done trying to keep the weight off long term on my own.
Yeah, you need the help. And then you're doing all this stuff, and you spend the day, you worked, and then you went for a walk or whatever you did, but everything hurts.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And if you could just lighten the load,
He
that
said
would be
load.
nice. I did say load, and that's going to end our show.
Jim Pericotti, sounds like the colonoscopy diet. Not exactly, but you're not far off. Linda, Joshua, when do you think you can update how you are doing on Facebook, or maybe Dave can give us an update? So we should, Dave can post an update, or maybe I will tomorrow night. My surgery is scheduled for 12:45, so I'll definitely put something on Facebook, and I'll probably put it on the show page. Because if I put it on my page, it's just going to be another big, can of worms that I don't want to deal with. So, and I'd really like to do the show next week. I just don't know that physically I'll be feeling up to it. So we're going to put a tentative on the show next week, but we will certainly be back the following week, but we'll let you guys know. Kevin Tachi, there's nothing like a little sandwich throwing. Prayers and healing vibes for you. Fingers crossed too. Thank you, Bob Tarasi. So I love all you guys, and I wanted to be upfront with you, and I hope you didn't think it was too much tooting my own horn. I really just wanted to be transparent, because I know back in the day, you'd see somebody drop a huge amount of weight and you'd be like, did they get something done? Like if I'm getting Botox, I'm going to let you know about it. And if I'm getting the VSG surgery, I'm letting you know.
And then we may or may not be on the air next week.
Yes, I just said that.
Yeah.
See, this is why I'm a little concerned with you.
Here's the thing. We're going to talk about my shopping addiction.
Okay.
Nighty-night, everybody.
I love you guys. Thank you so much. And we'll make sure there's an update on Facebook, hopefully tomorrow night.
And we'll see you next time on the Worst
Talk Show.